New this morning, CDOT wants you to slow down this summer. For the rest of the month, you'll start seeing signs on highways with reminders. They're teaming up with highway safety offices all across the western U.S. on these signs. CDOT says deadly crashes from speeding have gone up over the past few years. 110 deaths in 2021, 140 in 2022, and 142 just last year. Denver is also working to slow down drivers, especially near the University of Denver.
9 News reporter Brianna Fernandez joins us live from that area. And Brianna, what sparked the idea to make these changes?
Hey, good morning, guys. So we know this all started after 3 DU students were injured at a crossing stop here right near campus. And this happened back in April. So take a look at your screen. We know, according to the Denver Police Department, this all was because of sun glare. Sun glare was a factor, and the driver was cited for careless driving. According to the Denver Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, with potential risk like sun glare, they want drivers to be more cautious in the area, especially where students and staff regularly cross to the different sides of campus. So this year, both DU and Dottie decided to start a slow zone pilot program. So this includes massive speed signs on the road, a slow zone ahead sign, rumble strips, which you could probably hear, and a reduced speed limit along the stretch of Evans Avenue between University and High Street. So it used to be 30 miles per hour, but the city reduced the speed limit to 25 miles per hour.
I imagine when school starts, some congestion occurs there, and that slows people down. So like in summer, you've got it was pretty, wide open. And when you have like a wide open street like that, I think people tend to take advantage of that open space. So we'll see how it looks now. We'll see how it looks in the fall. There may be enhancements that occur.
So I'm back out here live now that the sun's up. We're getting a better look of these 25 miles per hour speed limit signs right along Evans Avenue. We're also hearing those rumblings, but we're also noticing drivers going a little too fast, especially for 6 a.m. So Dottie, as well as DU officials, they're going to be analyzing this in the summer, like you guys just heard, but they're also going to be analyzing if this program works in the fall when students return to the campus. If it does end up working, they say that they're going to look at other trouble spots in the Denver metro area. For now, I'm live here in Denver. Brianna Fernandez for 9 News.
And just even some of the cars we've seen behind her going that fast, you can only imagine that a lot more people do this as well. All right, Brianna, we appreciate your reporting. Thank you.
Denver police is investigating a burglary that has forced a high-end jewelry store in Cherry Creek Mall to stay closed all week. The burglary happened early Monday morning at the Hyde Park jewelry store in the Cherry Creek Mall while the mall was closed. Police say a number of items were taken, but they won't say what items or how much the stolen jewels are worth. It's located on the second level of the mall between Neiman Marcus and Nordstrom. Usually 1 or 2 security guards are keeping watch. The store has been closed since Monday, but there's no indication they'll be closed today.
It is now 6:06 on your Thursday morning, and today President Joe Biden is planning to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Washington, D.C. They'll focus a lot of their attention on a potential ceasefire and hostage release deals. They're also set to meet with family members of Americans still held hostage by Hamas. Since Netanyahu got to the U.S., people have been protesting, holding rallies, and even spray painting monuments in D.C. Biden was supposed to meet with Netanyahu earlier this week, but pushed it back because he had COVID.
For the first time since he dropped out of the race, we got to hear from President Biden directly about his decision. After he addressed the country, our Kyle Clark spoke with Republican State Senator Barbara Kirkmeyer of Weld County. She has been a vocal critic of the president, but says last night's speech was good for America.
I think he just needs to hold on to what he was doing and, keep making these types of speeches, which would be good for him, so that we don't look weak as the United States of America, on a global platform. And we need to think about what the United States looks like. How strong do we look? How weak do we look? Tonight, he gave a good speech.
Kyle also talked with Denise Myers, a longtime attorney in Colorado. She worked directly with Biden as his director of administration when he was vice president.
I love that man, and he has been very good to me personally, and I think he's done some wonderful things for this nation, and his legacy will only continue. And I think what he did on Sunday and his presentation tonight is just another chapter in a long book, a big textbook of his legacy and his amazing accomplishments. And I'm honored to have worked with him and alongside him.
During his address, President Biden laid out his agenda for his last few months in office. That includes reforming the Supreme Court with ethics rules, but that plan will likely end up stalled by Republicans in Congress.
The U.S. House is creating a task force to investigate the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump. The House voted unanimously in favor yesterday. It will be bipartisan with 7 Republicans and 6 Democrats. Those members will be announced later today. They'll be able to issue subpoenas while they investigate and will have to have a report on their findings ready by December 13th.
One of the 2 other people hurt in that shooting is now out of the hospital. David Dutch was just discharged yesterday, a week and a half after the shooting. The other victim is still in the hospital in serious condition.
New this morning, Biscuit Basin and Yellowstone National Park is closed for the rest of the season after a hydrothermal explosion there. It sent boiling water and debris hundreds of feet into the air, and now experts say that smaller explosions could keep happening over the next few months. They say hydrothermal explosions are actually pretty common in Yellowstone. They happen a few times a year, but typically in remote backcountry areas.
This summer has been extremely hot all across the West, and in Arizona, it's been deadly. Hundreds of people may have died from the heat in just one county. According to the state, there have been 27 confirmed heat-related deaths in Maricopa County, which is where Phoenix is. But the heat is the suspected cause of almost 400 more deaths. Last year was the deadliest in Maricopa County when 645 people died from heat-related issues. It will be a while before we know about this year's numbers for sure. Investigators usually take 2 to 3 months.
Well, it is so hot in Death Valley right now that a tourist had to be rescued because he burned his feet. He was walking in the sand dunes when he lost his flip-flops. At the time, the air temperature was 123 degrees, but officials say the temperature of the sand would have been much hotter. It was too hot for rescue crews to fly him to the hospital, so he was taken in an ambulance to a higher elevation, then flown to a hospital in Vegas. Of course, we're starting to see things not quite to that level, but heat up around here as well, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, even for their standards in Phoenix and in Death Valley in the Southwest, it has been a wildly hot summer. Will likely go down as the hottest summer on record in a couple of those places, including Phoenix and Death Valley. For us in Denver, not quite that hot. We've been kind of on the fringes of that, but we've got a pretty hot outlook. Meantime, today we still have some of that lousy air quality overhead. A little better than what it's been for the last few days, but still we have that air quality alert across the eastern 2/3 of Colorado for ground ozone, as well as for some of that wildfire smoke from the north. Today we top out at 97 degrees, daily record of 99. In some jeopardy, that hazy sunshine around, but we got even perhaps warmer temperatures for next week. I'll have details on those coming up in my full forecast in a few minutes.